What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show is, are you avoiding joy? How much are we in the mode of solving problems? Is it fun for you? Is it joy for you? Do you actually know what would be joy for you and your body? Let us play with the idea of joy and see if you can invite it into our lives. I'm a medical doctor actual MD, who became an Access Consciousness Facilitator, Akashic Record teacher, and opened my own school a few years ago. Also, as you know, podcast host. I have many hats, and I've been facilitating classes around the world to kind of change people's realities. I just came from Rome, Italy, where I co-facilitated classes with Magic Lincoln in Russian. What a gift to see people shifting from their everyday life, problem solving, anger, sad, into actually having joy. And don't get me wrong, don't take classes with Access Consciousness or Akashic Records, because it will change your life if you choose it. But truly, what I found a lot of times people misidentified fun and joy with problem solving, with suffering, with being victim. And this is how our reality works. It has nothing to do with them being wrong, being right, other people being wrong or right, with the war raging around us. This is more about what are we choosing in the moment. In the next 10 seconds, what are you going to choose? Let's say the earth is going to be destroyed or you're going to be die. Because I went through that. I ended up in Ukraine right when the war started. And it's kind of like you have no idea if you'll survive or not. So you have pretty much 10 seconds to live your life, which is one of the tools of access consciousness. Instead of planning for next 5 years, 10 years, etc., you're basically choosing in the moment. And that was such a freedom of actually experiencing joy in the moment. How often do we postpone joy, fun, till we have more money, till kids grow up, till when we retire? What if all of those excuses actually just excuses? What if you choose for you to have more fun? Oh, wait, how many people actually know what's fun for them? I found out that in Russian, there is no word that equivalent to fun in English. There is joy, there is excitement, there is a lot of laughter, funny, but fun, actual word fun, with the nuances of actually enjoying your life to the fullest. A lot of languages don't have that, because most of cultures are about work, about purpose in life, about creating for society. This is nothing more than just controlling people. The government controls people, religion controls people. And what if we actually, when we are having fun, are we controllable? The answer is no. When we are enjoying ourselves, when we are being space of joy instead of suffering, we're actually being out of control, totally non-controllable. Look at people around you. When somebody is sad, angry, you tell them they do things. When people are having fun, they're not in a space of, oh, you're telling me to do what? No, because to them, they are enjoying themselves. What if we actually stop being controllable and start enjoying ourselves? What is fun for you? I came from Rome and I found out that a lot of people do sightseeing and kind of like rushing to see everything in a new city. Is it fun for you? For some people, maybe. For me, it was just walking around the kind of like the center. I started with my hotel and just walked. No purpose, just walked. I ended up on Piazza Navona, which is a square where there is a lot of artists going. Well, first I ended up at the kind of like a cute little shop, but then I ended up at Plaza Navona, which is one of my favorite places in Rome, just to sit quietly with cappuccino or having lunch and just enjoying the sighting, the music playing, because there are artists playing, artists painting, caricatures, or like drawing. There's a lot of activity going on Plaza Navona. And of course, sunshine and just good food. And it was such a gift not to be in a hurry, not to have a purpose of doing something, solving something, just being. That space is where everything is possible. Because when we are in a problem solving mode, we're actually concentrating on that problem. We have a lot of judgments about the problem. What's right way of solving it, the wrong way of solving it. What if it's just about relaxing and seeing what works? What if all the problems are actually our creation? Oh, wait, yes, it is. Everything in our lives is our creation. We chose it. Even when we decided it's not our creation, it's still our creation by not choosing something when we were supposed to choose something. And this is not about making you wrong and or some other people or me right. No, this is about showing how powerful you are. That if you're creating problems, you can actually create joy in your life. Look at this. Yes, how many of you decided that you are a good at problem solving? A lot? Yeah. Majority? Yep. I was one of them and I'm still am. I have not fired myself completely from the job because I can see some problems popping here and there, not as much as it used to be, but still kind of like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And when you even hear I need to do this, what happens in your mind? I don't. I don't want to do that. A lot of times when we have that necessity, we're resisting it. When it's fun, because even problems can be fun if we reframe ourselves, if we kind of like leave the definition aside. Because what if problems were fun for you to solve? What if it's not a wrongness? It's just kind of like how you lived your life. Because for me, well, for anybody who decide the problem solver, they need problems to solve. That's how they live their lives, from one problem to the next. what if what if, is it still fun for you? That's a question. Because if it was fun for you 10 years ago, that's fine. But is it still fun? Is it still enjoyable for you to go and solve problem after problem after problem and never have that joy that you're craving? Because a lot of times when we crave something, on some level, we have already decided we cannot have it. Maybe because we decided that we don't deserve it, or maybe we've decided that it has to be some way of solving it, and then we can have it. Just like I said in the beginning, we're like, we'll do that after retirement, after kids grow up, after we have money. Let's play a little bit. Maybe now, if you're listening live, or maybe in the future when you will be listening it, or after the show, write down a list of 10 things that you would like to do or be with that is fun for you. Doesn't matter how much it costs. Don't look at right now. Just 10 things that's important to your life that you've been postponing. Get them in your mind. Maybe to go someplace warm, where on the beach. Got that? Now, doesn't have to take long. Maybe you can come up with 10, write down 5 things. And with those, look at them. How many of them can you do now or tomorrow or within next week? What if it's just a choice? What if joy and fun are just choices that you can make? And this time is for our break, commercial break. When we return, we'll talk more about joy, how we avoid it, and maybe how we can create more of it. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm creating abundance with ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, are you avoiding joy? Which is interesting. Why would people avoid joy? But in the first part of the show, if you missed it, if you're just joining us now, we talked about that some people misidentified and misapplied kind of joy and suffering. And they've been kind of like problem solving instead of having joy, or for them is joy is problem solving. If it's not for you, then maybe it's time to look at something different. Because the definition of joy is great pleasure and happiness. And we've all experienced that throughout our lives. But somehow, somewhere, there is a connotation that joy is a wrongness. I remember being at a networking event where, somebody is not happy. He's going to the doctor and he knows it. It's Bruce. He's not been feeling well. So with a lot of people, they have a judgment about joy. I was at a networking event, and with the Access Consciousness tool, with taking some classes, I was really, really enjoying myself, just being in a space of joy. And that woman looked at me and says, "Why are you so joyful?" And there was so much judgment in there. And I'm like, at first, I didn't even realize, wait, what's wrong with being joyful? And I was like, why? It's like, why are you so joyful? And she repeats herself. And I'm like, in this reality, being joyful is anomaly. It's not a normalcy of being happy. People don't choose it. And the funniest thing, one of the classes that Gary and Dane did when I started Access was happiness is just a choice. And it was, if not the smallest, one of the smallest classes in the history of Access. Not very many, I think it was like 10 people live and 10 people online. Pretty much a little similar. I think Getting Out of You Crazy was, which is pragmatic psychology, was a little bit bigger. I think 16 or 20 people live and 10 online. So how much are we in the mode of always being in this reality, sad, angry? Because that's the emotions and feelings. Oh, I just realized that. Because infinite being, and we all are infinite being, immortal souls, name it, call it whatever you want. It's huge. And we live lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, or kind of like, and the infinite being functions from perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. And those are higher vibration, just like joy, like it's spaces of being. Those are not emotions. Those are not feelings. The feelings and emotions are the sadness, the anger, the fear. All those are emotions, and those are lower vibration. They're electrical vibration of this reality. So when you are in a space of joy, you're actually outside of this reality. And that's part where a lot of people actually not willing to be. There is a fear. If you function at a higher level or higher vibration, call it whatever you want, you come outside the norm and you lose everyone, because people don't like kind of like I wouldn't say don't like, but you will be alone because you're not like everybody else. But let's face it, are you like everybody else? Mm-mm. You're just pretending like everybody else, but you're not. Every single one of us is different. Every one of us is pretending like everybody else, but everybody else is still that contraction that this reality decided what it's supposed to be, what you're supposed to look like. If you look at the movies, any media, internet, how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to dress. And if you're not, you're pariah. You're not like us. So you're again, like in Russia, when I was growing up, there was kind of like a thing that if you're not with us, you're against us. If you don't share our ideas, then you're against our ideas, which is not. The truth is, each one of us has a point of view, and all of them are interesting points of view. Each one of us is individual. Each one of us is infinite. Each one of us is greater than we think, than this reality, or much more. And yet, in order for us to be controllable, we've been pushed in that mold of how the person has to be like everybody else. That square peg in the round hole. We're all different shapes. And yet, we're supposed to fit in that square, which is flat. And we're not even flat. What if you take a look at what you're choosing right now? What if you start choosing a little different? What you like, not what everybody else likes, but what you like. I had no idea what I liked. I remember when I got divorced, because everything was about my husband, my child, my mother, everybody's needs and desires. Oh, I knew them well. I knew what they like. I knew what would work for them, but I had no idea what would work for me. So when I got divorced, I had to rediscover myself and find out what I liked. And I started even with simple as food. My sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, thought that I liked hot dogs. That was my favorite food. And I'm like, what? No, because it was their idea, my ex-husband idea. That's what my favorite food was, but it wasn't. It was just on the go, as medical school, college, all of that. A lot of times I was working 80 to 100 hours a week, so all I had time was throwing a hot dog in the pot, and that was my, just to eat something, but it wasn't my favorite food. So I started discovering what I actually liked, what was joy for me. And it wasn't what my ex liked, it was totally different. Not that what he liked was bad or my choices are good. No, it's just individual. I love Italian food. That's why for me, Rome is heaven. Pasta, pizza, fish, all of that is heaven. Is it my favorite food in that moment? Yes. But what I learned, in order for us to be the space of joy, it's not to have a conclusions about this is my favorite food, I will eat it all the time. It's about what's your favorite food in this 10 seconds. Because right now, my favorite food actually sparkling water. And this morning was eggs. And for a long time, I didn't drink coffee because my body didn't ask for it. But being in Rome and not drinking cappuccino was, to me, a crime. But it was actually in 10 seconds. I was choosing every 10 seconds. One morning I would have cappuccino. Some mornings I would have two. Sometimes I would have cappuccino at lunch, which is against the law in Italy. I'm joking. It's not against the law. I was not put to jail because I drank cappuccino at lunch. No, it's just like, kind of like people look at you weird. But my body wanted cappuccino at 2:00 in the afternoon. And they were like, no, we drink coffee, which is like espresso. I'm like, no, cappuccino with lots of milk. So what if we start discovering what is joy? And it all starts with a question. Body, what do I like? Because our bodies are what actually lives in physical reality. Because our being could care less what kind of food we like, could care less what dress. You can go naked for all I care. That's a being, because being is energetic. It just experiences everything through the body. Body is the one that has touch, smell, hearing, vision, all our senses and more. And that's where you ask, body, what would you like to eat? Body, what would you like to drink? Who would you like to eat? And all of that is about the body. And time flies. This is time for our second break in the show. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today, we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, are you avoiding joy? In the first two parts, we were talking about a lot of confusion when people misidentified, misapplied joy, happiness, and suffering, and how controllable they are. And in the second part, we talked more about the difference we are, and that as an infinite being, we actually do function at the space of joy, but when we contract and become controllable, that's with all the emotions and feelings, it actually creates the suffering in a nutshell. But if you missed it, you can listen in the recording on a lot of stations. It's pretty much on every podcast station, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and on the website, Inspired Choices Network, on the app, Inspired Choices Network, and also 50 TV stations. But no, I just listed some. It's 250 of them, if not more. But what's funny, during the break, I was thinking of the song. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And a lot of times we're not showing, even when we are happy, we're not showing the joy. Sometimes it's like a joke. It's like, come on, let your face show the happiness you are. But no, because we misidentified. A lot of times we start crying when we are happy. Tears of happiness. How much more can you misidentify suffering and joy? What if you actually look at that? Because I guess I'll go there. In Access, we talk about pain as a lie. It's an intensity that we're not willing to actually receive. Because pain can be multiple things, but one of the pain, especially when you go from doctor to doctor and they cannot find anything, there is a few things that can be, it might not be even your pain, or it might be intensity your body is showing of pleasure. Because like orgasm can be painful to some people if they're not willing to receive the intensity of it. And again, it's not to make you wrong. It's not a wrongness. This is about looking at what is. Oh, actually, Christine just corrected me. 450 podcast and media platforms, not 250. So you can find us anywhere. And with misidentifying happiness, joy, and suffering, a lot of times people start crying, as I said, instead of laughing. And when you bring that idea to them, they're like, oh yeah, it's actually a happy occasion, not a sad occasion. Huh! And start laughing. There is a laughing yoga, which is at some point called brain respiration. Because when we're laughing, our whole body rejuvenates. When we are in a space of joy, it's a lot of creation can happen. How much can you create when you're sad, angry? Those are distractor implants. They're like programming to get you out of creation. The only time when I can create is when I'm happy. That's when I'm like, okay, what else is possible? What can we do? Let's go. when I'm sad, it's like all I can think about is what made me sad. What if it's a lie? What if we can actually choose happiness? What if we can choose our space? Okay, let's do a little exercise. Think of something extremely sad that is happening to you, maybe now, maybe recently, that you're still upset about, like really, really upset. Okay, got that. Now, just sense how contracted that made you feel, how small. Just experience that. Maybe contract even more. Go into that problem, go into that upset. Okay, you made me yawn. Good. Now, let's drop our barriers and expand. You don't have to know how. Just ask your barriers to go down to that problem, to that upset, to whatever made you sad or angry. And let's just expand ourselves and that problem, that upset with us. Maybe make yourself as big as your house or your apartment, and maybe go a few kilometers, few miles out, 10, 100 kilometers or miles, 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 miles. Make yourself as big as your country, as your continent, and now as big as Earth. And let's go beyond our planet. More. Maybe like solar system, like a sphere, like a ball that goes out. More. While you're expanding, look at the upset, look at that sadness that you had. Is it still there? If still there, expand even more and pour the energy in there. Expand that with you. Million miles out in all directions. Is it there? No. Surprise. Because all our upsets, all our contractions are lies. Are you still there? You're huge right now, right? Wow. In that space. And is there joy there? Yeah. It could be a quiet joy, just like, much better than being contracted, small, and being upset. Okay, contract again. Feel how like that made you feel, that upset, whatever like that problem is. Okay, it's not as intense as it was first time, is it? You didn't even want to go there. Okay, drop your barriers and let's expand again. Whew. Cool. It's gone again. Surprise. Joy is expansion. Any like emotions, feelings, the upsets, the intrigues, the drama of this world, it's not real. Truly, it's not real. No matter how much you made it real, how much it upsets you. And I know when you're in the middle of it, I've been there, done it, still doing it. Believe me, still doing it. The only difference, I have the tools right now. When I find myself in that contracted space and kind of like poor me and, oh my God, this happened to me, I kind of like, wait, nothing happens to me. I created it. So let's look what else is possible here. How does it get any better than that? What is that? What do I do with it? Can I change it? And if yes, how can I change it? Whew. See, by just asking those questions, did you see how it shifts the energy? This is a choice we can make. Instead of avoiding joy, what if we can bring it in? What if we can choose it? How much easier our life would be if we chose joy. And from that space, started solving all our, can't talk. From that space, actually started solving our problems. Well, my body doesn't even want to say the words, because what if they're not problems? What if we rephrase them and talk about them as challenges? A little lighter? Yeah. Problems, challenges. Again, problems or challenges? Which one would you choose? Challenge is actually maybe something that we're going to look at that. Okay, am I going to take on that challenge or not? Here is a choice. Problems? No. Problems, issues. First of all, issues, somebody else gave it to you. Would you return it back? That's another thing. 98, 99% of all our problems are not ours. How many of the problems we talked right now involve another person? Yeah, most of them. All of them. Yep. What if you actually chose for you? Would you have any problems? You might not. You might actually, seriously, not have any problems to solve if you chose for you, for your space. But it's not just choosing for me, because there is a difference. In Access, we talk about kingdom of we, when we choose for us and for everyone else. This reality was a problem solving. It's either for me against you or for you against me. This is not productive. This is not joyful. This is kind of like fighting, defending. It's war. There is a war going on, and multiple wars going on in the world right now. There is also multiple wars going on inside of us, inside our relationships. Us against money, us against ourselves, us against our spouse, our significant or insignificant other. All of that is contracting us to the smallest denominator of this reality. This is a good place to go on a commercial break again. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, are you avoiding joy? It's kind of our last segment of the show. In the first three, we're talking about how we love solving problems, how we have no idea what joy for us, and experimenting changes it. And you can always watch it on TV, binge TV, etc., on 450 different platforms, or 450 plus platforms. And this is not the last show. Every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern, whatever time in the world for you. I'm here. It's a live show. You can ask questions. You can join me in the Zoom. You can join in the chat room. And next week, we are going to have, how good are you at the problem solving game? Surprise, surprise, we started that conversation that instead of having joy, we are actually choosing problem solving. So that might be a continuation of conversation on joy and problem solving. But don't come to the show, don't listen to the show, and don't ask any questions. You can also send questions to me personally before the show, so I can kind of like not so much answer, but look at the energy, and we can kind of like see what will create, because the show is created by you guys. I'm just tapping into your energy, whatever is this week or next week or 5 years from now. This is about you choosing more by even listening to me. What if by listening to me and using the tools, and today we have quite a few tools of the week. Oh, we have a question. What do we create by not choosing joy? That's an interesting question. And really, how much of trauma and drama are we creating so we don't choose joy? How many problems we're creating so we don't choose joy? Because that's where that choice comes in. A lot of people say, but I don't have a choice. Oh yeah, not choosing, not having a choice is still a choice. And to me, it's laughable right now, even the question. But about 20 years ago, that was actually, I got angry when somebody told me that. Not having a choice is still a choice. I'm like, what do you mean? Because I don't have a choice. And she repeated itself. She repeated that. And it took me a little time to realize, yeah, not having a choice is still a choice. And what if we can create something different? One other thing, and we'll talk next week about gratitude. Because the opposite, the antidote to problems, to trauma and drama is joy. But how do we get there? And a lot of times by being grateful. The space of gratitude, pretty much similar to joy. And we'll talk more next week. And we'll do more exercises next week. Also, there are some classes coming up. It's going to be in Buffalo Grove in Chicago area. Maybe some of them, like the one that's coming up, the 3-day body class at the end of September, will be at my house in Buffalo Grove. It will be either translated into Russian or will be in Russian. Also, there is going to be a bars class mid-September and foundation. Probably before body class, maybe in the beginning of September. Just look at the calendar on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com, Facebook page, which is also Creating Abundance with Ease. Also follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. There is a lot of places where I do Facebook Lives, I do clearings, I've done a lot of clearings. Rachel Silber and I, who's another facilitator of Access, we did 100 days of out of control clearings last year, 100 days of clearings for change this year in the group Being You Without Hiding. You can text me, Telegram, chat me. You can contact me through emails. There is so many through website. There is so many ways of contacting me with questions, with just like connecting and watching the free webinars, paid webinars, because I do a lot of things online right now, as well as live. Showing up everywhere in the world. Just join me. Or not. This is about choice. Don't feel obligated that you have to, because that sounds so good. Always check with you. Will it be fun for you? Will it be joy for you? Those are the questions to ask. And we have just a few minutes left. I just want to remind you about the questions like what my life will be in 5 years if I choose this, what my life will be in 5 years if I don't choose it. And I do classes in Russian or English around the world. You can invite me to the places where you live and we can talk about that. There is so many options, so many choices, so many possibilities. What if, as an infinite being, you actually have infinite choice, infinite possibility, and only by contracting yourself with not choosing joy, with not choosing the space of being, you create that trauma and drama, the abuse, that sadness, anger, all of that. What if you can just look at the person? You don't have to like them or love them. This is not about the spirituality. We love everyone. This is the oneness. No. Oneness includes everything and judges nothing. This is a definition, but it doesn't mean you have to suffer. It doesn't mean you have to live with abuse. You don't have to choose abuse. You can actually choose joy. What if it will be your next choice, next 10 seconds? You will choose joy. You will choose experimenting what creates joy for you. And you can always ask, will it create joy for me? Will it create fun? And so on and so forth. What is that? What do I do with it? This question creates, and we'll talk about that in our next show. Are you good at problem solving? How good are you at the problem solving game? Because there is so many ways of solving problems by not actually having them. I don't know if you remember the War Games, which was a movie, I think in the 80s or 90s, with Matthew Broderick, where he ended up playing on Pentagon computer, and everybody thought that it was actually the World War III going to start. And the computer did the whole simulation and said, how about because there was no winner in the nuclear holocaust. There was just the question, let's play a nice game of chess. That's my invitation to you. What if instead of trauma, drama, being a victim or victimizing somebody else, or whatever your life is right now, what if you chose joy for the next, I don't know, 10 seconds, and every 10 seconds chose joy again? Love you all, and you've been listening to Creating Abundance with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Mwah.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.